Well, all right. I'll just get a little more light on the subject. Open up this window. There. That's plenty. So, right now, on this very day, the 5th of January 2020, we got an election in the state of Georgia, which will determine who runs the Senate. Whether Mitch McConnell, as I like to call him, Mitch the Switch McConnell. The switch is, well, we won't go into that. It's just, never mind. Anyway, two Democratic senators from the state of Georgia will give the Democrats in the Senate control of the Senate, and Chuck Schumer will become majority leader in the Senate, replacing Mitch McConnell, who will be shuffled back to minority leader, where he belongs in the first place. And that son of a bitch, who was an obstructionist ever since, I don't know when, Newt Gingrich came on the scene in the House of Representatives, God knows when, 1990, when Rush Limbaugh started out his wonderful radio show, and others followed this right-wing radio show bullshit. They're all left-wing radio shows that no one knows about, and I'll tell you why, because nobody listens to it. There's good reason for it, because they don't know how to connect to an audience. But I'll tell you what. And look at me. I'm wearing a beard. I'm wearing a snap-brim cap. I was born in the state of Idaho. I lived in the state of Washington from the time I was about, I don't know, 1 week old until I was, I don't know, man. When the hell did I first leave? Uh, 1980. I moved to Idaho, moved to Pocatello. I was married by then. So I was stuck in Idaho for the next 25 years. Pocatello, Idaho, with a university, where I managed to obtain a degree in secondary education, if that meant anything at all, which it does not. Shit, I've never been successful in my life at anything. But I do know one thing. I know how to look at things, and look at them hard, and look at them long, and look at them thoroughly, which no one does anymore, ever, except for the Supreme Court justices, and that is their responsibility to look at something long, and considered, and thoroughly. And if they do not, then they don't have any business sitting on the bench, in my opinion. I'm a theorist and a theorist only. I'm a theorist of the Democrats and I'm a theorist of the socialists. And my own political party, which I devised in 2011, and the mascot is a cougar. A cougar with a squirrel riding on its back like a trickster showman doing flips. And it's gonna run rings around the fucking Democrats, and it's gonna run rings around the docile Republicans who are split down the middle now. And who half of them have no business in government whatsoever. Like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, who went before the Supreme Court many a time as a constitutional attorney, who now has turned himself into an anti-constitutionalist. I despise that son of a bitch from Texas, and he ought to be thrown out of Congress. Thrown out of the Senate. He doesn't even deserve to be a senator. unlike his colleague, Rand Paul, whom I admire. Because Rand Paul at least has his own mind. Ted Cruz is just a supplicant to Trump. A supplicant, acolyte, and devious motherfucker who reverses himself at every turn just to get the vote and hoping that nobody will remember what he said, a year ago or 2 years ago. Well, I do. And I know he's a fucking hypocrite. Shit, he starts growing a beard. What's he want to look like? A mountain man! You want to look like a mountain man, Ted Cruz? Well, fuck. If you're from Texas, good luck on that flat plain of Texas. Shit, you have no luck being a mountain man. You'll never experience snow, and I doubt you ever have. You motherfucking flying piece of shit. You shite-assed motherfucking bullshitter. Ted Cruz, fuck. Yeah, he called me a philosopher king, and he said that with a sneer in his voice. Well, fuck you, Ted, you motherfucking piece of shit. You motherfucking piece of shite. God. And I'm not even running for office, and I can display you on YouTube, and I can slice you down like a fucking slice of cheese into nothing. You are execrable in your hypocrisy, just like Mitch McConnell is execrable in his hypocrisy. Mitch the Switch McConnell. You're all a bunch of fucking liars, a bunch of attorney motherfucking bullshitters. All of you. Except for the few shit Chuck Schumer, at least he's honest. He represents his people from New York. Nancy Pelosi, she represents her people from California. And you think that Kathy McMorris Rogers represents her people from Eastern Washington? You are mistaken. She only assumes she does. And I'm gonna run against that woman in 2022, and this is my electoral bid, if you want to call it that. And even if I don't get selected by Lisa Politowski to go on with it, shit, I'll run in my own party, the Northwest Farmers Party. The Northwest Farmers Party, which, as I've said previously, is right in the middle of that political spectrum, half on the left and half on the right, or should I say half on the right and half on the left. Either way, I'm smack dab in the middle of the motherfucking spectrum. And that spectrum on the fringe of the left includes hydrolysis plants and solar ranches to get us out of this fucking energy crisis and ultimately the climate crisis, which every country in the rest of the world is doing already. And the United States isn't thinking anything about it. None. You never hear about the hydrogen economy in the United States. Oh, what is it, the hydrogen economy? Well, there's a simple little thing that any kid can do in junior high school. He takes a dry cell battery, which is direct current, and he puts two little electrodes into the water, and he just got a little test tube under each one, and the water bubbles up, and guess what's happening? Well, the electricity decomposes water into its elemental constituents of hydrogen and oxygen. So you have twice as much oxygen as you have hydrogen, which, because of its molecular formula, H2O. And so